Right, hello. So this is a quick video on how to do design, and it is how to lay out your page for web design, your web page. So I'll share the screen, what that's going to look like. Here is a quick mock-up I've done on Photoshop. So this is the layout that I'd like you to use. It can be bigger, but it needs to have these steps. It needs to be in that vague layout. So we have a brief, and you have your brief up here, artist models, and I'll go over those artist models and where to find them in a moment. You have your own photos up the top here, which we'd like you to use in your website. Some black and white ideas. These are just layouts where you've stolen the ideas from the layouts of your artist models. We've got some concepts which we'd like in color and then more finished. We'll talk about that in a moment, as well as a final. Now, if these are a little bit longer or whatever, that's great, because we do want it to fill up basically half a page on your board. So first up, let's start off with trying to find some artist models. So I'll just stop sharing this one and share again onto my Pinterest. Okay, so we go to my Pinterest to start off with. So what happens is I don't have any websites on my Pinterest. So you go to my Pinterest first, and then I'm following 3 people. And this is Mrs. Embleton, who's the design teacher. So you click on her, and she has got a whole bunch of stuff because she's the design teacher on all these different things. You scroll down until you find the one that is websites. And we're just looking through this here because there's lots of different things on here. And here it is in the middle here, website. So you click on this, and here's a whole bunch of different ideas on websites. Now, what you have is the wonderful thing about Pinterest is that you find something you like. You can see these long formats because on a website you scroll down and it has these different changing images, and by having it big and long. So you click on that, and then the wonderful thing is, even if you don't like this, it doesn't have to have anything to do. So you don't have to have burgers to have this one. You might be doing a sports team, but you're pinching this as your artist model because you like the colors or you like the layout or both. And so then you scroll down further, and then magically Pinterest finds all other things to do with something to do with that website. You can see here it's clicked on the fact it's a food one, and there's a million different things. But once again, it might be just the layout you're choosing, and you go, right, cool, my sports team is going to use that layout of that. Anyway, so you've got that all up, and you're going, right, cool, I want that on my board for artist model. So then what you do is you come over the top of it, you right mouse click, and you go copy image, and then you go back to your board. I will stop sharing that and share Photoshop again. And then it is just a simple thing, edit, paste, and there is your website that you've gone from Pinterest. Right, so these you'll get shrunk down here with the move tool. That's the move tool up to the top here. You shrink that down, and you chuck it onto your board. Okay, just click on it again. It's not moving. That's not helpful. I'm just going to go cancel. But you're going to stick it on your board. Here we go. Much better. Okay, so anyway, you got that. So you've got your artist models, and you're stealing those layouts for these. So let's go over how to make these layouts, and we want them all the same shape and size, so we do it on the same thing all the time. So how we do that, we go File, we go New, and these ones that I've made, you can make them longer, you can make them shorter. Then what I've done is I've made it, so you go to centimeters up here first. I've made mine 10 centimeters. Whoops, it's 100. 10 centimeters wide. Height is 20. And so it's good resolution. I always go oops, sorry, that's the wrong one, inches. I always go 300 dots per square inch or pixels per inch. Okay, so you go create. And it's going to make this page, and that's going to be our one there. All right, so it's always going to be this kind of shape up here, so we can have all of ours not getting fatter, not getting thinner, but all being the same. So to do our black and whites, we're going back to our artist model, seeing what they've done there. All right, because it's got some on angles, got these kind of square shapes into it. And so then what you're doing is you're going to your polygon lasso tool over the side here, and you're starting to make some of those shapes. So we're going to click, click, oops, missed. You make a mistake, go backspace, and you can go the outside as much as you like. But what happens is make those shapes, and I'll only color on the inside. You choose your color for this one. We're just wanting black and white, because that's, you're just worrying about the layout. That's all you have to do. For these ones, you choose your black down the bottom here, paint bucket tool, whack that in, and you make a whole bunch of shapes like your artist model. And you're doing that. If you want it more precise, you can use the shape tool, which I'll show you, the select tool, sorry. Using the moment, but in the moment time, you can use that to make different shapes. If you want something a bit more precise, then you can make these rectangles that come up perfectly like that. And then you do that, right? Easy, and it's all one layer here, so that's all great. And we can just select the whole thing, edit, copy, stop, and then we go to the edit, paste. And here it is on here. We try it up. Now you can see how this is white here, and it's going to really merge into the background. That's why on these ones, I have actually made them gray so you can actually see them. So you can do that. And that's a nice, easy way of getting those things so they're standing out here. So then what you do is you develop those a little bit more, start using your photos from at the top here, and putting in colors, changing things around. So at least 3 different ideas, and then your final going over here. Now, you as a designer, your job is not to worry about the actual words. You might put the title of your company, but that's all you need to do. For the rest of it, what you're doing is you're using a layout tool of where the words go. So I'll show you that on here. So you drag out a square, and this is using the text tool here. So you drag out a square, and it fills it full of these words. You can change the color up here, you can change the size, you can change the type of font. And what happens, this just fills it full of gobbledygook. And you can fill it more with gobbledygook. So you go up to here to type, you go down to this where it pastes this gobbledygook stuff. It's technically Pig Latin, and you click on that and it will just fill it full of all of that stuff. And so what happens is your job is to worry about where the words go, not what the words are. So you can just fill it full of stuff, have it down, have it up, maybe have some more rectangles, and you just play around with those if you want to change the color. So you have that on there. You can do that, but you only need to do that for the concepts. You don't need to do that for the black and whites. So let's go back. So that's how I've done this. This is just the those words that don't actually mean anything, playing around with the layout. Have your own photos in here. You'll get a higher grade if you don't just grab that photo and just plonk it on. If you actually use an artist model for photography, do something with the photos and put it on. You can see all that in here, and you can see that on the other boards, which are also on Google Drive. So that should be anything. If you have more questions, please ask, and I'll be able to either make more videos or answer your questions specifically. Thank you, thank you, thank you.